Good day and welcome to Customization for Diverse Learner Needs, sponsored by Odysseyware. My name is Tina Kassler and I'm the Integrated Marketing and Strategy Storyteller at PR with Panache, and I will be serving as your moderator today. You'll be hearing a presentation from Dr. Denise Hoy. She is the Director of the A.G. Learley Life Preparation Services Center, or ALLPS, an alternative high school in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Joining her will be Mr. Luke Adams, Ms. Sarah Wilkinson, Mr. Leverett Archer, and Mr. Tracy Metlock. They will be speaking on this very timely subject. However, before we get started, a few housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded and will be a closed mic session. Registrants will receive a link to the recorded version of this webinar once it is posted online. Please enter your questions for the Q&A session at the end of this webinar in the area noted Q&A in the upper right. Now, moving along to the webinar, please welcome Dr. Denise Hoy, who will be speaking to us on customization for diverse learner needs. Dr. Denise Hoy is the Director of the A.G. Learley Life Preparation Services Center, or ALLPS, an alternative high school in Fayetteville, Arkansas. She has also served as Assistant Principal and Special Education Director for the district. She has learned through experience that today's students need more than traditional learning methods in order to achieve and succeed. Her innovative initiatives, such as the Catch Up and Keep Up programs, have helped increase graduation rates while lowering discipline referrals. And with that, Dr. Hoy, I'd like to turn that over to you.
Well, hello, everyone. Okay, I'm about to share my screen with you so you can follow along with the PowerPoint that we have. And so we will go through this PowerPoint, and each person that will be speaking, the face of these other participants will speak as you see their face on the slide. Okay, so once again, I am Dr. Hoy. I started here at the alternative school in Fayetteville High School last school year, August of 2014-15 school year. So this is my second year here. We have about 210 students enrolled, 9th through 12th, as a staff member about, let me click this PowerPoint. So those are your presenters. So we have about 22 and a half staff members, 14 teachers, 3 classified staff members to include a secretary, a registrar, and what we call a behavior support interventionist. We have 2 administrators, myself and a vice principal, 1 full-time counselor, a half-time nurse, a full-time school resource officer, and half-time mental health counselor and full-time behavior intervention specialist, which is one of the classified staff members. We also get a lot of participants from outside the school district to include Young Life. We partner with the Community Chamber of Commerce for a lot of our community-related programs. We partner with Compassion Fayetteville, which is an initiative in the Fayetteville, Arkansas, to try to merge diversity in the community. And to move on from there, we're an isolated campus, about a half mile from the traditional high school, which serves about 2,500 students, 9th through 12th. It's a closed campus, so students are not allowed to leave campus unless they have a flexible scheduling. We have previously, up until this school year, students have been able to leave campus at lunch. Now the whole district has gone closed campus for lunch, but we still allow students initiatives and incentives to still receive off-campus lunch, providing they meet the same goals and behaviors that they have for our School of Innovation schedule, which I will talk about later. We offer all courses required to graduate, which includes some business-related electives, some fitness programs, and what we call Family and Consumer Sciences, which is short for FACS. And we also offer art and social studies related curriculum. The School of Innovation is a 4-year waiver program that the state of Arkansas started offering about 2 years ago. And this program allows school districts to request waivers from the state policy. And I wrote this waiver requesting that students are able to attend school 24 hours a week as opposed to the 30 hours a week required by the state. The state approved this, and we decided to choose Fridays as the day where students can earn off based on maintaining satisfactory grades, attendance, and behavior. Our attendance in the fall of October 2014, average daily attendance was 79%. To October 2015, it was 93%. In December of 2014, it was 78%. In December of 2015, it was 93%. And as of today, we have maintained an attendance rate in an alternative school of about 210 students, which is pretty amazing, I think, of 93% daily average attendance. And I think it's due to this School of Innovation schedule, where students are only required to come 4 days a week and earn that Friday off. The Friday schedule serves a lot of different purposes. It allows students to partake in various activities related to improving their academics by getting additional instruction. They can get individualized attention. We offer classes on social, emotional, psychological support, transitional services. Students take trips to colleges and universities. We have students who they say they want to be college, they want to teach. So we will send them to schools in the area where they actually work to tutor within the middle school, junior high, elementary. So they get experiences going to learning about the levels that they think they want to teach in. We offer driver's aid classes, health and wellness. We do bike programming. We offer job shadowing classes and things of that nature, character education, college prep search activities, and once again, remediation. This also will allow students to earn elective credits toward graduation in their courses, such as career readiness, community service learning, Keystone, and other transitional courses.
Hi, I'm Luke Adams. I've been at ALLPS for 6 years. I teach social studies here. I was going to talk to you about some of our alternative ways of making sure that kids get the credits they need. That's part of the thing about alternative ed is it's not just traditional education with smaller class sizes. You really do need to meet the student needs. We have a few extended learning support programs that we like to brag about here. We do our night school, which we call SCAN, which is Second Chance at Night. And what we do is Monday through Thursday, if they're ALE students, they can come from 3 to 6 to night school. And if they're non-ALE, they'll do Tuesday and Thursday from 4 to 6. A lot of kids benefit from that. It's a pretty quiet environment, and it allows a lot of kids to kind of put their head down, work at their own pace, and still get assistance from a certified teacher that's there after hours with them. We have a VLAP, which is Virtual Learning Academic Program, where we can put kids on virtual assignments, still have an instructor, still meet the criteria for the Digital Learning Act, but allow them to actually work on it outside of class also. We have GED prep. A lot of our students, for one reason or another, struggle in regular classroom environments, and some of them do benefit from going to the GED. So we want to make sure that when they go to take the test that they have the best shot of actually passing the test rather than just sending them away. We want to send them to the test prepared. And then we actually offer summer school, where we have 7-week-long sessions from June through August, where they come from 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, and they can recover their credits that they're missing. They can improve their GPA. They basically can just get a better handle on information. And we charge, the district charges $150 per session, but it allows them to recover in that time period. There's no limit on the credits they can recover. And I'm also going to talk to you guys about one of the other alternative ways that we're pushing here at ALLPS is myself personally, I'm doing the National History Day contest, and this is my 5th year of doing that. It's project-based learning. I like it. Most of the kids benefit from it, even if they don't like it, so that's why I like it so much regardless. But we're also looking at other projects like STEM, like we're starting to build programs here For the History Day contest, the best part about it is that it's easily differentiated, and the kids get invested in it. It's not just an assignment, it's something they actually end up caring about. By the time they end up going to the History Day contest, when they win, they're so excited, and when they don't, they're furious. So, which is a great thing, because, I mean, I can't remember last time a kid got mad because they didn't do well on a test, but when we do these large projects and they invest themselves and they have some student choice, then that really makes a difference. The student that's talking later, Sarah, she's actually in the, she's doing History Day. This is her week. It's actually on Saturday, so wish her luck. But the nice part about it is that your lowest kid in the classroom can do it and your highest kid in the classroom can do it and still feel good about themselves and still feel smart and still feel capable. Matches all Common Core state standards across the board, teaching them some real college skills if they want to do that, and just teach them to work hard. It's an industrious endeavor that they go on with this, because it really does require them to put in a lot of effort. And when they do well, you know, here at ALLPS, we like to recognize student achievement. So we make sure that we put their name on the website and we take pictures, and if they win medals, we wear the medals and we just make it a big deal. Chance for scholarships, chance to go to nationals in Washington, D.C. So if any of you are interested in that, I would recommend looking at it. It's a fantastic program.
My name is Sarah Wilkinson, and I've been at ALLPS since August. And I came here because of the flexible scheduling and the learning that they have. And what really got me was being able to graduate early, and night school really helped that because I started all of my extra courses that I needed to graduate a year early. And then another thing that really put me forward was going through JAG, which is Jobs for Arkansas Graduates. And that teaches me how to get a job, and I get credit for having a job. So it's double the credits with that, which helps me graduate even quicker.
Good job, Sarah. Sarah is one of our success stories. My name is Leverett Archer. I came to this campus in 2000 and was tasked with specifically to use online curriculum to do credit recovery. At that time, online curriculums were just coming online, so to speak, and we weren't sure about how to go about it, but I was very fortunate to be put into a situation of a classroom called Uptown, where I am not the only teacher. There are actually 2 certified teachers in the classroom, and that really provides for a unique situation so that we can support each other, and it really makes classroom management much easier, especially when we provide one-on-one attention to students, which we try to do as much as possible. Our method was usually at that time called independent study, and we never did care for that term because it implied that the student was working on their own. And even though we had students, all the students in the classroom may be working on different projects. One may be working math, another English, science, and social studies. They were all recovering credits independently, but we wanted to emphasize the teacher involvement. So we started using the term guided study for what we do, which emphasized teacher involvement, which I think is really critical to making the self-paced credit recovery successful. We closely monitor their progress. We emphasize that they ask questions, they ask for help as needed, and that promotes one-on-one instruction, which helps them progress as quickly as possible. A lot of times I can identify where a student is stuck, clarify their confusion, and help them move along. And since this is self-paced, most times, very often we have students recovering 2 or 3 credits in a semester's time frame. So they can catch up, they can get back on track for graduation with their classes. And that really motivates them, knowing that they can recover these credits, they can get caught up. We use a method that I refer to as review, reteach, and reassess. When a student comes in and gets assigned a particular course to recover, we review where they are. And the Odysseyware pretest feature on their courses that are assigned as prescriptive courses allows them to do a pretest, demonstrate competency of the material, and so that lessons, they can actually test out of lessons using the pretest feature. So they can demonstrate competency, be assigned the lessons that they need to review, and then if they do not score a 60% minimum score on a lesson, that's where the review comes in. We sit down with them, we go over the problems, the material that they are struggling with. We use that opportunity to reteach and then reassess where they are. So I have never written an F on a report card. The only way a student can fail in our classroom is if they fail to attend or they fail to do the work. We pride ourselves in working with them until they earn passing grades on their material. In addition to the online curriculum, which is really the primary source of our curriculum, we also use some paper courses that are what's referred to as the pass materials. Not all students want to use online curriculum or feel comfortable with it, although the majority do. We do have some paper materials that we like, and so it gives us some flexibility and some other choices in the curriculum that we can use. So our goal is to keep students on track for graduation by helping them recover credits. And a side benefit to that is, like Sarah, they were able to graduate early. If we can help them graduate on time, we're thrilled. Sometimes they really take advantage of what we offer and are able to accelerate and actually graduate early. Other alternative methods to supplement instruction that we use, Books That Grow is something that our English teacher uses every day. And that allows the text of whatever books that she is using in class is translated onto grade level, appropriate grade level for whatever level the student functions on. So that helps them participate in class activities and be able to read the material more successfully. We also use Khan Academy. We have a math teacher that has really used it extensively, set up student accounts on Khan Academy, and that's just another tool for content delivery that supplements and supports our regular instruction. And let's see. In addition, we have intervention and support materials that was already been mentioned about what we do on Fridays. One of the main features of the School of Innovation are our Friday sessions. We offer opportunity for attendance recovery, other enrichment activities that Dr. Hoy mentioned, allows them to do community service projects and get extra academic help if they need it. We offer a program called Catch Up, where a student that has gone through the regular class but failed the class barely. If they scored from 55 to 59, we offer a modified curriculum that puts them through some of the material that they struggled with and allows them to earn the credit, even though they will only receive a 60% score for that credit. They do earn that credit. Now, if they are motivated to earn a higher grade, then I'll let them go through and do a regular credit recovery and earn the score that they can earn. The catch-up also offers for special ed students and 504 students. We offer that same program, but we offer it if they have scored 50 or better on the regular classroom. We also offer a keep-up program. If a student is still in the regular class and they're struggling with it, it looks like they may not pass the course, then we offer extra support to help them keep up in that class and be successful in that class. So with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Medlock.
Hi, my name is Tracy Medlock. I am the JAG instructor, JAG specialist, and business teacher here at ALLPS. I'm going to go over two things. Our ALLPS commandments, which that's our big claim to fame here, and we're pretty proud of it. And then I'm going to go over a brief overview of my JAG program, kind of explain to you what's going on with that, and some of the success stories and all that good stuff. If you can see on the table, we have broken this up on the PowerPoint, and there's some really catchy names. We rhyme. The reason we came up with it, when I came here I've been here for 2 years, and the reason we came up with this was basically we had rules in place, but we wanted the kids to be accountable, and we wanted them to understand what was going on with all these rules. I think that by the way we labeled these, I think that it's easier for them to remember, and it has helped out tremendously, if you can see there in that fourth column. The first one, bullying. Our kids, they can report bullying at any time anonymously, and we get down to the bottom of it and find out what's going on. We've had not very many cases at all with that. We haven't had a problem. The second one, creep you leap. That deters truant behaviors. That's if a student is on campus, we find out that they're not going to class, and we take that pretty serious. We like to have intervention meetings after the third and find out what's going on, and we try to deter that behavior. And as you can see there, those have gone down tremendously. I think my JAG program has helped out with that, especially late in the afternoon. Another thing that we have is post you coast. Now, we all know that the social media is crazy right now and taking on the kids nuts with it, but we try to deter that behavior. We take that very seriously as far as kids posting on social media and threats. And we've had certain incidents where we have caught the kids telling each other, you better watch it, you're going to get poached your coast. So I think that that's been very successful. I don't remember, maybe one time this year, last year, it went down tremendously. Talk you walk, that's verbal threats and disrespectful behavior. That's to teachers and other students. Throw you go, when the kids come over, when our students come over and they enroll, we go over all this with them, but it's the throw you go is we have a no contact contract. So bottom line, we take that very, very seriously. The kids know, hey, you fight, you basically go automatically 6 weeks into night school. And we haven't had very many incidents at all. I think with alternative learning, a lot of people think, oh man, it's the bad kids and all that. We really haven't had a huge problem with that. And when we have had problems with that and the kids have gone to night school, they haven't enjoyed themselves So I think that has deterred that behavior big time. Late you skate, that is excessive tardies. Those have cut down tremendously this year because after the 7th tardy, we have an intervention meeting. Now, the kids, if they keep that up after the intervention meeting, they can be sent to night school as well. So, and they do not like that. Call you fall, that's cell phone management. Now, basically our cell phone policy is on a case-by-case basis, meaning teachers, okay? If we ask the kids to have the phone and they refuse, they can get OSFs with that. But a lot of our teachers try to integrate cell phone usage in their curriculum. But it's a case-by-case basis, meaning in the classroom. Last one, dress to impress. That targets dress code violations, and that one there, Hoy came up with that, or Dr. Hoy came up with that name just recently. But that targets dress code violations, and that very rarely ever happens here. And so that is our ALLPS commandments. And we're pretty proud of those because I've been to a lot of schools in my illustrious 18-year career, and I have yet to see commandments like this. So we're pretty proud of that. Now, you going?
Let me answer. You know, anytime someone reads these in the district and they say, through you go where? Talk, walk where? All those things means they're going to night school, and the minimum placement normally is for about 6 weeks. So the only one that would get them there immediately is the throw you go when the violence is with intent and malice. Sometimes there's a fight of someone throwing something. It was not intentional, and we know that there will not be contact any further. But usually it has to be with malice and intent. So that's where they go for 6 weeks minimum.
Okay, real quick, I'm going to go over my JAG program. JAG, a lot of people don't understand what in the world is JAG. JAG is Jobs for Arkansas Graduates, or it's our national affiliate is Jobs for America's Graduates. Now, basically what we do is I still call it, it's somewhat like the traditional school to work program, only it takes it a step further. The kids are not only just working, but they're in the classroom. The curriculum from 9th through 12th grade, which is a multi-year plan in Arkansas, the kids, by the time they're seniors, will have mastered 87 competencies. And they range from anywhere from career development competencies down to personal skills competencies. And also, basically what we do is they'll get a half credit for my class, and they'll get another half credit, which turns into a full for working at jobs. So it's on the job training, so to speak. Now, it goes from JAG 1 to senior JAG, and we have integrated the 9th graders this year into it. So you can be in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade, and that's the reason it's called a multi-year program. The kids have to take JAG 1 to get any apprenticeship credits. So basically, we want them in the class, plus they're getting credits for working as well. I personally think that it's helped, especially with my kids in the afternoons, because when we have interventions and different things like that, we'll come up with a plan of action for them as far as, okay, why are you skipping? Why are you creeping and leaping? Why are you doing all this stuff? So I'll go out. We have 2 teachers. Tracy Holyfield is another JAG specialist, and she does a lot of the classroom, resumes, cover letters. She covers the gamut on that. And then basically I am free most of the afternoon where I take the kids to interviews. I go talk to their employers, make sure they're doing well. They tell me something's wrong. I go talk to the kids, and they're held accountable for what they're doing wrong. A lot of times it has to do with punctuality, different things like that. But that has been very successful for us. I believe that probably 65 to 70% of the kids here, if not more, are part of the JAG program or wanting to be in it. There's a link on the slide for JAG, Jobs for Arkansas Graduates, that link gives you a complete overview of the way that is ran at Arkansas. And it really hones in on the alternative ed aspect of it as well. So that's kind of what we do here. I also teach different business classes, but that's our main elective, because we can get these kids so many elective credits for working, and a lot of times that helps out, like take for instance Sarah, that speeds up the graduation process. So that's a complete success for us.
I wanted to throw in, when Mr. Archer was talking about the online classes and programs, we, a lot of NCAA is another bonus that we have. I applied for the non-traditional learning program, program through the NCAA, which allows our students, any student who take an online course with Odysseyware and our guided study program with Mr. Archer, since they're the room, they can get NCAA credit for a class taken online. And so that was a huge initiative so a lot of students come down to the alternative program for true alternative learning opportunities. So so they're able to not only graduate early, but also earn credits when they failed Algebra 1 in 9th grade in a traditional setting. They're able to come and take it online in a guided study setting with the teacher supervised to assist them, and NCAA will count that as an original credit.
All right, another thing we do here at ALLPS to make sure that we are trying to build a little ALLPS family with the students, which is pretty important to us, because a lot of them, when they come from backgrounds without support, we want to make sure that they know that we are there for them. We've had a history of doing events. Essentially, some of the best ones are the ones outside of school hours, where you actually have the kids come and bring their families and celebrate with us. Some of our students with children bring their children, which is always pretty nice for us to get to interact with them too and meet them and know a little bit more about them. In the fall, we do a family night. Basically, it's kind of a cookout after hours, kind of a little picnic. We have Mr. Archer that's in here. He plays for the kids with another one of our teachers, and they have students that play. We have the ALLPS Brothers Band.
Debut CD coming out soon. Soonish, yeah. We'll let you know.
We have another teacher who juggles, and he has actually some of his family come and juggle also. So that's always fun. The kids just hang out. We give them food, which is always a great and easy motivator to get kids to come. But so we give them something to eat, and we really just get to hang out with them. It really is a relationship building event. We want them to see us outside of the classroom. What, Sarah? And we did have a guitar giveaway this year. I forgot about that. So we did a Halloween celebration. Basically, the thing about that is our leadership. We have a leadership class where we pick students on campus that we want to lead the way, essentially. And they are the ones that plan these events to try to get kids invested in them and also give them a little bit of accountability. We do a holiday meal before Thanksgiving to make sure that our kids have that type of a meal, and the teachers prepare the stuff usually. We bring it, we have in the past, and, you know, again, it really is about that family. This spring, we're about to have Diversity Day, which the leadership class will be designing itself again, where we bring in foods and events to celebrate different heritage, different cultures in our community, or in our ALLPS community. And then we also, at the end of it, right before graduation, we have a senior celebration, because our kids graduate with the main building, but we also want them to recognize them on our own campus as ALLPS graduates.
When we talk about celebrating everyone's heritage, the demographics of the campus is about 68% white, 23% black, and about 8% other. So we're able to blend in a lot of different styles. And even so, with that. We still try to bring in other coaches that we're not aware of. We reach out to local communities, the local restaurant businesses, to see if they are willing to donate food to help support a lot of these initiatives. And we usually get pretty good participation. We have a process of how students enroll through an application online process, and when we do them on Fridays. We used to do them throughout the week, and we like I said, we modify and adjust as we see things aren't working. And so we decided to go to a one-day enrollment process. Alternative learning in the state of Arkansas has to meet a certain criteria for students to be placed. And that criteria includes disruptive behavior, senior parenting, reoccurring absenteeism, dropout prevention, students who struggle academically, who have anxiety issues, social, emotional, personal issues, and so they apply to attend ALLPS, and they have to meet at least 2 of the criteria to attend. And so we interview the students through an enrollment process on Fridays, where there's a 6 to 18 member process. When students enroll, they complete a transition survey. We complete a student action plan with them. We go over all the rules and expectations of the campus. We will begin giving assessments to 16-year-olds, because a lot of students, we decided to include the 9th graders in the JAG program because we have a lot of 9th graders who are 17 and they haven't earned any credits. So we try to give what we call the TABE, which is the pre-GED exam, to qualify students for the GED program. A lot of students at 19 coming in with 3 credits say, okay, I want to get my GED. So we already have that assessment score, and they can decide from there if they want to get their GED or continue on with us. They need to make a score of a 10.5 overall on the TABE test to be accepted. So sometimes it just helps them with their student action plan. What are you going to do? Those kinds of things. We offer an informational brochure to all the schools so they are aware of the enrollment process, the process to enroll, the types of students that should be coming. There is a perception that alternative learning is for at-risk students or bad students, and the students are at risk of dropping out because for many different reasons. Like Sarah, she just want to go ahead and fast track herself and get out of school. So not that she's not someone who probably would drop out, but she's someone who could probably essentially start doing things like skipping classes that she doesn't need. And that's one of the things that we do here, is that when they are a senior and they only need 2 classes, they only take 2 classes. If in the traditional setting, they have to be enrolled in 7 classes. So a lot of students struggle with taking classes that they don't need to graduate when they can come here and leave early. So those are some of the things that kind of make us different from a lot of other alternative schools and just the traditional setting. We want to be more appealing to the community and to the student needs, and we're trying to help dispel that notion that this is a bad place to be. Prior to Bell, class is changing. Prior to my placement here, I was at the traditional campus high school as an assistant principal for 4.5 years. And I came here, I incorporated a lot of the programs that I have here at the traditional campus because a lot of students didn't want to change their location. They didn't want to be associated with an alternative learning environment. And so there were about 100 students enrolled, and we have doubled the enrollment since then because we are trying to get out there and be truly innovative, not just with the scheduling, but also within the classroom. And so Mr. Adams explained some of the project-based learning we're doing, and moving forward, we're trying to build a STEM program, get a food court worker to work to help us build gardens, a garden program. And so those are the things that we're trying to do moving forward. Okay, we're now ready for the question-answer session.
All right, well, thank you, Denise, Luke, Sarah, Leverett, and Tracy very much. And Sarah, good luck with History Day this year. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Now yeah, absolutely. Now we'll go to your questions for a brief Q&A. If you have not yet submitted your question but would like to, please enter them in the Q&A area in the upper right. It will open a box in the lower right. All right, here. Let's see, we do have a few questions. All right, we'll start here. What, in your opinion, are the programs you've implemented that have had the most impact on graduation rates?
Okay, we didn't hear that.
Sure, I'll try it again. What, in your opinion, are the programs you've implemented that have had the most impact on graduation rates?
I think the flexible scheduling program has had the most impact. Night school in particular, and the virtual learning program, so students can actually enroll in classes and not have to attend. So many of the students who have babysitting issues or have to work, they're able to still work and get the job done. We have students in Ohio, Kansas City, Oklahoma that have already enrolled in college, and they maybe have graduated from a traditional program, and when the semester ended, they've already enrolled, and they found out they were lacking a credit. So we were able to get them started. A lot of it is the flexible scheduling. We have, to date, as of February 2016, we had 17 of our 97 seniors to graduate early. Those students graduated early because they didn't need all those credits to graduate. They only needed 2 or 3 classes. So once they finish those courses, they're done. We're on a 4x4 block schedule. And so students from August to December complete a full year of a semester course. A full year of a credit. So they are able to finish up in December. So when they come from the traditional environment and they may have 7 classes from 8 to 3, they come over here and have 2 classes from 8 to 11:30. So I think the flexible scheduling, and in Sarah's case, Sarah is a true 11th grader, but she fast-tracked herself by attending night school. So she was going to school from August to December until 6 o'clock at night. She was in school during the day, and then she stayed for night school because it ends at 6 o'clock to catch up on credits. So I think that's one of the main reasons. And then number 2, I think the JAG program. We wrote a grant and received about $24,000 to start up that class. Now you can start up JAG without the grant, but why not get the money? And so we were able to get 25 new computers. They get 25 brand new computers, and so our computers are they were decent here, but we were able to get more advanced computers. But this program allows the students to earn their elective credits outside of having to do salesmanship or advertising, family consumer science classes that they really weren't interested in, but they are able to take 2 classes in the morning and be done at 11:30 and go to work right after that. So they're earning credits at a faster pace than they are if they were in a class, because if they work at least 15 hours a week, they get a half of elective credit. So if they work 30 or more, it's doubled. So a lot of our students are working 40, 50 hours a week, and they can also work this in the summertime. So while they're working in the summertime, those hours can even be transferred over as part of their apprenticeship program. So students aren't just leaving. The other thing is community service learning. We have we don't have a lot, but we do have students that are involved in courts because they haven't been attending school. So there's a truancy law that if students aren't attending school at a certain age, they're required to go to court, and schools are required to report those students. And so those students get community service. So we still have a lot of students that don't want to be at school, and we will give them a half-day schedule, and then maybe partner with the animal shelter in the afternoons, or Samaritan House, or Goodwill, or this local other nonprofit agencies in the community. And students that don't want to be here, they can actually go and do community service also, and that will, if they achieve 60 hours, they can earn credits from us as well. So nothing they're doing outside of school can be counted for something if they're being productive.
Sure, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So we've also got a question here. I like this for Sarah. And the question is, how important do you feel the Friday off incentive is to the students and then to the larger group and the overall success at ALLPS? Sarah, would you like to answer that?
Sure. I feel like the Fridays help kids want to go to class on time and make them want to go to school more, because when the teachers throw in the fact that if they're not there on time, then they have to attend school on Friday, then they want to go, and then it helps a lot of kids go.
The other thing I think probably helped out with the attendance rate with the Fridays is that teachers are required to contact parents weekly if a student isn't progressing academically, behaviorally, or their attendance. And so I think that that kind of has improved the attendance, and students want to earn their Fridays off. So students have to complete a certain number of Friday sessions. We offer 4 every Friday, and they can earn, so about 32 to 34 sessions are offered on Fridays. So in each grade level is required to complete a certain number. So from 12th grade to 9th grade, there are 10 to 20 sessions. So if students come and participate in those sessions, they could essentially have the last 4 to 5 Fridays off. So that as long as they kept up their behavior and attendance and grades, and even if they didn't have it off, they're still welcome to come and just get one-on-one assistance. And the Fridays are half days regardless of whether they came or not.
Yeah, and that's something I remember reading from our earlier correspondence, that you have students that come in on the Fridays that they don't need to be there, but they come there because of the environment, because of the setting, because they want to.
Yes, and it's amazing. They probably won't show up Monday through Thursday, but they will show up on time on Friday. So, what are you doing here?
All right, well, we've got a couple more questions. And again, if you want to ask a question before we finish out the session, go ahead and enter it in the Q&A box. You can click the box in the upper right, and then on the lower right, you'll have a space to enter your question. If we don't get to your question during this session, we'll make sure to follow up with you after the webinar. So the next question, Dr. Hoy, when you became the principal of ALLPS, what were your first steps in addressing graduation rates and discipline referrals?
Okay, it's kind of ironic because I came with the notion of, okay, these students are in alternative settings. Nothing in the traditional environment is going to work. And so the handbook was pretty much, the high school and the traditional high school and the alternative campus were operating the same. They had the same schedule, they had the same rules. So I came in and we were on a 7-period day. Teachers taught 5 classes at both campuses. We had what we call small learning communities. So teachers had a small learning community period, which a lot of schools refer to as professional learning communities. And then they had a playing period. So I came and changed to block scheduling and for a 4x4 block scheduling, and changed the rules from traditional to the alternative. So I created a handbook with rules that were different. Now, it was still, the biggest transition was the students, the number of students to the campus, being added to the campus. There were students that did not want some of the students here. There were teachers that were kind of used to having a certain number of students being enrolled. But the #1 initiative was to increase the enrollment because of the number of staff we have. With 100 students and 22 staff members, it just wasn't cost efficient for the district. So I changed the schedule, and then I offered all those programs. I offered a flexible schedule, and I created a night school, implemented all the intervention programs, the intervention meetings, and the rules were more or less do the right thing kind of rules, but a lot of students kind of resented a lot of students coming over. So we had, from August to October, we had 12 fights and 18 arrests. In the previous years, they probably hadn't had 5 fights in 3 years. So that's when I created the commandments. And it was like, I got to do something because we were arresting the students. They were going to court and all kinds of things. But what we found, what was happening is the students that were being fought were the ones who were posting and coasting. You may be in a classroom and you have a girl that may be attacking another girl, but the girl won't say anything in class. Then she'll go and post something, and then these girls will go and fight. So it started out where the fights were both sides. And so I just created these rules, and the students that all fought, I knew it was going to be a huge transition because I had to figure out where I was going to send them. We are a second chance school, so, and we don't have what we call, alternative learning in the state of Arkansas is non-punitive. So students, this is not a punitive situation. Students aren't placed here. They request to come here, and we are considered an intervention 100%. So it's not, we can't, I just don't believe in putting students out of school. One thing you take away from them, the one thing they need is an education after they have done something they need to be educated about. So I created the Night School program. Mr. Archer is actually the Night School teacher for that program. And with perfect attendance, might I add. And so we currently have about 45 students in Night School.
Something like that, yeah. It flexes regularly.
It fluctuates, and so we not only serve the night school. When I was at the traditional high school campus, I created a night school program in 2010 when I became the assistant principal there, and we served the alternative school population as well as traditional school population, and it was created to prevent students from having to wait to summer school to catch up. So when I created that night school program, that put me in a situation where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna ever recommend an expulsion no matter what you do, but I will change your placement. And so if I have two students in a fight, they only attend night school for 2 days a week, and so they're not there at the same time. So that kind of helps with the management. But those are the things I did. I changed the scheduling, and I made the rules so that students knew the consequences. So I had students who have been expelled probably 2 and 3 years in a row from the school, but having to be placed, I think the students saw that, okay, I have a chance to stay in school. So, I mean, I may have made a bad decision, but I can come back. But I had a girl that was expelled 3 times. She was expelled her 9th, 10th, and 11th grade year. She was 12th grade when I got here. And she said, ooh, I want to hit that girl so bad, but I don't want to be out of school for 6 weeks. And she also knew she had to graduate. So I think changing the placement makes students stop and think about what they're going to do. But that was the number one thing I did. I changed the rules and I changed the scheduling. And I offered every opportunity in the world. So when students skip, I say, okay, you're not coming to first hour until 9:30. You don't have to have a first hour. I can just give you a second hour. You don't have to be here all day long. I can just give you half day. And I would have students in the beginning that didn't want to be here all during the day, and their parents were making them. And then they started violating the rules just so they can go to night school. And I was like, you don't have to do that. All you got to do is ask. And they're like, oh, okay. And so so that's kind of what I did, is just everything is a choice. I just create opportunities, and they can all access them without any consequences, any non-punitive. So those are some of the things I did.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Hoy. And we've got another question. It's a 2-part question. First of all, how do you overcome communication issues with parents? And they mean if parents don't own computers or respond to phone calls. And what are you doing for parent engagement?
Okay, so if parents don't respond, we have, on our Fridays, we have 2 teachers that's assigned to assist with monitoring and supervising the halls. So when there's sessions going on and you have a student misbehaving, because students sign up or sometimes they're placed in certain groups, so that you may have mismanagement of behavior. So we have 2 teachers that's automatically assigned to kind of help with that, and they are also our home visit people. So when we have teachers that reach out to students or parents and we can't make contact, then we will recommend a home visit. In terms of the parent engagement, we hold the holiday events, and like I said, we invite the students and their parents, and we email, we do all calls from the schools, we send out letters, and a lot of those are pretty heavily attended. So we do a lot of those things. Every event that we have, parents are invited, and we just highly advertise it. We post it on the Fayetteville Public Schools public Facebook page. Most people that don't have communication can still do social media. They can find information through social media. But each teacher also has a set of advisory students. Their first period class are their advisory students. So the teachers will call and make a personal contact to the parents, inviting them to our events. We're looking at partnering with the U of A for this program that they have that will actually teach classes to people. They teach classes to 50-year-olds and older in the community, and they're looking at coming here to teach classes during the day. So we're going to try to reach out to parents to come and take those classes. And as part of the partnership with the U of A, there's a fee to take the classes, but to our students and our parents, it will be free as part of the negotiation to rent the space.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Hoy. And now I've got a bit of a more personal question here that came through from your audience. An individual asks, how can ALLPS help me if I did not graduate and it's been a couple of years since I attended school?
Okay, Sarah wants to talk about her sister.
Oh, okay.
Well, my older sister Avery just turned 20, and when she was 17, she tried to graduate early online, and it turns out she just found out that the place she tried to graduate from wasn't legit, so she has to redo all of her credits that she had done online, or she thought she did online. So when she came here, they let her start night school to make up for those credits. That way, since she's too old enough to be in school, she can still go to night school and get her high school credits for it instead of just having to get her GED.
Wow, that's great. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, I also have a bit of an unusual situation. There's a girl, she graduated, well, she's 32 now, and she called the school. She had a life on drugs and things like that, and she called the traditional school, wanted to get her diploma, and found out she was a half credit short. So she called, the superintendent office, and they called me and asked how can I help her, and so I found out from the state that it's up to the school district if they want to provide a diploma to someone in that situation. The girl at the time was living in Cleveland, Ohio, and so I told her that, okay, here, I will let you access Odysseyware from your location. You take the test, you do this. She needed a half credit of English. You do this half credit of English credit. You connect with some kind of accredited institution where you are and send me information and see if they were willing to proctor your exams. And she did that, and we are partnered with the community. They charged her a fee to give her exams, and she was 32 and graduated.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Hoy.
Our motto is, Mr. Medlock,
where hope stays alive.
Very nice. Very nice.
We say stay alive because someone says, no, keep hope alive. We're like, no, we don't have to keep it alive because we never die, so it stays alive. So.
Absolutely. Well, that's a perfect note to wrap up on. We had someone actually write in something I wanted to share with you. The audience member wrote, thank you, Dr. Hoy, for serving these students. Thank you to your staff and their dedication, and congratulations, Sarah. So then, on behalf of Dr. Hoy and the entire panel, we would like to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.